Hi, this is Luke Gordon again, and in this second video I'm talking about FCEs again. And if you haven't watched the first video, it should be on the same site here. And in that first video I just talked about more of the basics with an FCE or functional capacity evaluation, and if you're coming to have them, what you can expect and things like that. And so for this follow-up video, what I wanted to discuss was a little more of the details about the FCE and also some of the frequently asked questions I get during the FCE, which again, hopefully if you're watching it before you come in, helps you kind of feel a little more comfortable when you're here at Gordon Physical Therapy. So one of the most common questions I get is, should I take my medications before I come to my FCE? So a lot of people are on like chronic pain medications. You could be on like high doses of things like morphine or hydrocodone, things like that. And so a lot of people are wondering, well, should I take it or not take it, because I want you to see how I really feel and what I can really do. And my best answer for that, honestly, is that they're your medications, and so it's your choice. So take them as directed if you want to. Call your doctor and ask them if you should take it before your FCE. It's really, again, it's up to you because they're your medications. I really can't give you specific advice on when to take them or how to take them. You know, I do think a lot of people, if they're on chronic pain medications, they are going to keep taking them. But I can see it both ways. So not the best answer there, but you know, at least you can be thinking about it before you come. Other questions I get are just on the various tests. So I did mention a little bit in the first video, but there's a lot of stuff in an FCE just because we try to cover all those different work activities. So some of them are pretty basic and straightforward, like repetitive use of your hands. So you might be flipping blocks for a while or putting little pegs in holes, things like that. Pretty fun and exciting type stuff. The other common stuff you're going to have is lifting. There are 3 basic lifts. So you're looking at a waist to floor lift, where you're basically lifting a crate from your waist level to the floor and back. So that's the first lift. The second lift is your waist level to your shoulder level. So you're lifting it more up through here. And the third lift is lifting it from that shoulder level then to overhead, so up above there. So there's 3 lifts we check. Then we also check a 2-handed carry typically. So you grab the crate, you carry it about 25 feet down, and then you carry it back. Other common tests are going to include things like the stairs, going up and down ladders, reaching with your arms at various heights, so at your shoulder height and at overhead, bending forward to do repetitive tasks, kneeling, crouching, crawling they just added. So those are some of the various tasks, just in case you want to kind of get mentally prepared for those too. Another question is, what's the difference between a 1-day FCE and a 2-day FCE? The way that I do it, and everyone does it a little differently, is that a 1-day FCE for me is a 4-hour test. A 2-day FCE is just the second day is just an extra hour. So still 4 hours the first day, second day is an hour. What we do on a 2-day that's different than a 1-day is that you come back in, I just kind of reassess to see if there's any major changes between the first day and the second day, and then we retest. Typically you're lifting and you're carrying, so it takes about an hour. Why would you want a 1-day versus a 2-day? Usually it's kind of a judgment call from your doctor. I don't really have a preference for either one. A lot of times I'll get a 2-day though if the referring person feels like there's going to be a big decrease in your abilities from day 1 to day 2. Typically the way that I test, I try to test accurately the first day to predict what you can do over a long period of time. So typically on a 2-day you're pretty much doing the exact same thing you did on a 1-day. So that's my opinion at least. And another good question is about like how much pain is normal and am I at risk of re-injury? And what I can tell you on that is that my job also as the FCE kind of examiner is to keep you safe. So that's my background as a physical therapist, and that's my background in training with FCEs, is that I'm here to keep you safe. With any FCE there of course is a certain amount of pain, and that's just the nature of the beast. We're trying to test your maximal tolerances for various things like lifting and carrying and different activities. So there will be some discomfort, but it's not like a torture session, and again, it's my job to keep you safe. Another thing kind of along those same lines is that just because I have you try something once or twice doesn't mean that I'm going to recommend you do that same activity 1,000 times a day. So again, that goes into my background and training. And the last one I want to talk about real quick, as this video is getting longer, is a really common one is, Luke, you're going to see me for 4 hours. I'm going to feel kind of crappy tomorrow. How can you possibly know within a 4-hour test what I can do for the long-term future over the next course of the next few weeks, next few months, next few years, which ultimately is what we're trying to predict with an FCE. And the best thing I can tell you again is that goes back into my training and the fact that I've done a lot of these and followed up with people, and that we do a lot of work conditioning in the clinic too, where we're actually getting people in the clinic for periods of like 4 to 8 weeks. But what I will say is that there are limitations to any of this stuff, and this is just kind of the best tool we have to assess your long-term abilities. in a perfect world, I could follow you around for, a couple days at a time and really get to see how you responded on a good day and a bad day. But unfortunately, that just isn't feasible, So this is kind of the best thing we have. I've got a full 4 hours, with you or whoever's coming in, and I can really understand your history, look at if you've had surgeries, look at your medical history, look at all the treatment you've gone through, and then look at your physical findings, and then look at how you do during the test. And that's how I really put that whole picture together and determine my recommendations for what you can and can't do. So I hope those questions and topics kind of help you. And again, if you're coming in for an FCE, it's my goal that you feel comfortable while you're here, at least that we have a good a time as possible, then you kind of, as possible, one of these kinds of tests. So if there's anything else that I can do to ease the tension for you before you come in, or if you're bringing a loved one in, please reach out to me and give me a call here at the clinic. I'll put that number in the video, but it's 509-892-5442. I'd be happy to talk to you.